segments of PAS, forming a new organisation, as well as PKR, or the People's Justice Party, and the Democratic Action Party will be part of this movement.
And what do you think the unravelling of Pakatan Rakyat means for Malaysia's opposition movement? And what does it mean for democracy in Malaysia in general?
Definitely for the time being it's a setback, because I think many people hoped that Pakatan can go far, and it has certainly achieved a lot. It's the most successful opposition coalition to date in the country, and many of the ideas, encompassing both non-Malay parties, mixed parties, as well as an Islamist party, is something which I would think is representative of the entire spectrum of Malaysian society, and whatever new movement or new coalition that comes into being will have to also take into account of the same constituencies.
So as you mentioned, in 2013, the last general elections in Malaysia, Pakatan Rakyat won the popular vote.
Yes.
And took the ruling coalition, Barisan Nasional, right down to the wire. Does the opposition movement stand much hope of winning or even challenging strongly in elections in 2018?
I definitely think so. I mean, the challenge for us is to get things in order, and I think everyone is working hard on that at the moment. And I think if that can be settled quickly, because at the same time the ruling coalition is also facing its own challenges. And I certainly believe that we can mount a serious challenge going to the next general election.
I guess part of the complication for the coalition was a perceived lack of leadership once Anwar Ibrahim was jailed on his latest charges of sodomy. Effectively, this jailing and sentencing means he's out of politics well until after 2018. Who do you think can lead, inspire and progress Malaysia's opposition movement now?
Well, I think the collective loss of first the imprisonment of Anwar Ibrahim, but earlier on the passing on of Karpal Singh from the DAP and Nik Aziz from PAS, both had all three had a major impact in the coalition, in the opposition coalition. And Anwar continues to be a major factor. I mean, he continues to be an influence even from prison. But at the same time, I think we can see an emergence of many leaders. Dr. Wan Azizah is now the opposition leader, his wife, and the president of PKR. Even if you see it within PKR, we are not, we do not have, we are not limited in terms of number of leaders that are emerging within the party. We have the Chief Minister of Selangor, Azmin Ali. We have the Party Secretary General and Vice President Rafizi Ramli. We have Tian Chua, we have Daryl Liking from Sabah, and these are all making their own name. Nurul Izzah, the party vice president, they are all making their own name and within the party and the country. So I think, and the same goes with the other parties. So I certainly think that we are not lacking of figures to lead the coalition.
And while a successful opposition coalition, I guess it's fair to say that in many ways it was tenuous. If not a marriage of convenience, it was possibly a marriage of tolerance. How do you think the opposition movement can get beyond questions of ethnicity, religion, and focus on being successful as it was in 2013?
I think the main issue is that we need to learn from both the successes and our shortcomings within Pakatan Rakyat. We had many successes within Pakatan, but at the same time, yes, as you mentioned, there are shortcomings, and so we need to see, and that's why there's this new movement within PAS that is starting to form, and I think that probably will be able to sit better with the other parties. So. And there needs to be stronger institutions to make the coalition work. Previously, it was much more of a loose coalition, so we need to make it more formal and more institutionalized in order for it to function effectively.
Now, if we could turn our attention to some other recent events, and in particular the extraordinary claims from the Wall Street Journal that Prime Minister Najib Razak has siphoned off $700 million from the indebted state sovereign fund 1MDB. An interim government report says that it's found nothing suspicious about the money transfer so far. In light of this, as well as the recent property scandal in Australia, which was exposed by The Age newspaper, what are the implications for Prime Minister Najib?
I think it's massive. The 1MDB issue has been haunting him for a long time. But the fact that there are two major incidents, I would say. First, earlier on, there was a property transaction involving the pilgrimage fund, Tabung Haji. And this is something which is very close to the hearts of many Muslims in the country. On the ground, so because this is where they save in order to perform their pilgrimage. So that is one that made it, rather than being an abstract corruption scandal, to something that is very real and affected them. Secondly, this transfer, which until today the Prime Minister has not actually denied. His statement is that he did not use the money for personal ends. That is against, it's such a blatant act that many, at first could not believe someone would do. So that has put a lot of pressure, and to the point that even many prominent cabinet members of the ruling party has actually come out with strongly worded statements